Hi everyone, this is Jim. Welcome to this Blitz chess postmortem video. This is a postmortem of my Blitz chess game number 106, where I was black here and we got into a queen's pawn opening. We'll take a brief look at the opening book. There's not much to see here. He plays, my opponent plays e3 on the second move, and already we're outside the range of normal openings. The Knight f6 reply seems to be the most popular, knight f3, and then I play g6, which is not a top choice here. e6, just getting a symmetrical setup, or c5 immediately. I play c5 on the next move. Bishop e2 and c5, and now we're just totally out of the book. And the chess engine, I'm going to leave it off for the sake of having some tactical quizzes, but it thinks black is pretty much equalized here. And in fact, after this queen maneuver, check and retaking the pawn, it thinks black is a little better. And I think black is pretty good here too. Basically, black has an extra pawn in the center, so he's wasted a little bit of time. But unless white can exploit that immediately, in the long run, black has got the better position. So here was an interesting point. Yeah, I could have just played knight c6 here, which is what I originally intended to play. You see, he's attacking my d-pawn. He's got a knight and a queen there, and so I thought I had to defend it. But look at this. If I play knight c6, and he takes the pawn, he's attacking my queen, so I have to take back, and queen takes. Then I take here, and he takes back, and then I can grab the c-pawn. So that was all pretty much forced after if he tries to win the pawn. So in fact, there was no need to defend the pawn at that point. And here, black is clearly better. So I could have just played knight c6 here instead of playing the defensive move, rook d8. So now white can play the move knight to b5 to harass my queen. And actually, white would be slightly better. So what small advantage I had, I gave away by not playing the most accurate move there. But my opponent, fortunately for me, didn't take advantage of it. And soon we get into a position which is once again about even. What's funny here is I played this move b6 with the idea of following with a5, trapping that bishop. But that plan is completely erroneous, because at any time after a5, even after a5, he can throw in the move knight to b5, hitting my queen, and then his bishop has a square to escape to. So there was no point to this move here, b6, which was really just to threaten to trap the bishop. And knight b5 is a good move for him anyway, and it provokes it immediately. So I should just follow up with knight c6 or even a6. The engine likes both of those, and black is better. b6, and once again the game is about even, and he gets to kick my queen around. I should have gone to b7 on the first move instead of taking two moves to get there. And he should not retreat his knight here. He should play f4 to support that. You rarely want to just move your knight somewhere and then have to move it back on the same move. If you can see ahead one move and notice that after you make that move, your opponent is going to attack it and you're just going to have to retreat, it's rarely a good idea. Occasionally, you will see grandmasters playing moves like that in order to provoke a weakness, a weakening pawn move or something. But unless you've accomplished something like creating a weakness, and all you've done by moving the knight forth and back is waste a couple of moves. And my queen ended up over here where it could have gone in one move. So we both wasted some moves. And now black is slightly better as he was previously. And I start kicking these pieces around. And if you heard me talking during the game, I had an idea here. And rook a to c1 allows me to implement my idea. So if you didn't see the game and you don't want to, and if you hide the notation, then maybe you can guess the move here. I'm going to tell the answer. There's a tactic here that wins material for black. Okay, I'm giving away the answer, which is on the annotation tab anyway. It's e5. So it's just attacking the bishop, but if the bishop retreats, then I'm going to play e4, and that forks the bishop and the knight. So very simple tactic, and white's best reply is to take that. And so now black is material up and is well on the way to winning the game. And stays up all through this part. And right up until here, queen e4. So queen e4 was another kind of misjudgment on my part. I could have played something else here, and I thought about the move and I decided I couldn't play it. So this is kind of instructive. The move I was thinking about is rook c8, and as I explained my logic during the game, here I'll put it on the board and show it to you. He would play queen takes, check. Okay, I would take the queen, and he plays rook takes check, and then I have to defend with the bishop, and then he could bring the other rook down, and he could win my bishop and my queen for those two rooks if I defend the bishop. But as it turns out, I don't have to defend the bishop because I have queen a1, which leads to checkmate. He brings one rook back and then the other, but in the end, he's checkmated. So in fact, rook c8 would have been the best move here. And the move I played, queen e4, actually gives away a large part of my advantage. So after this, there's only a slight advantage to black. So all my hard-earned tactical shots have come to nothing if black defends correctly. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's still enough of an advantage that I'm playing for a win in the endgame. It's just that black has more, white has more chances to hold than I should have allowed. Rook c6 was a mistake. The engine thinks rook d3 is the best move, just defending the pawn on b6. I thought he was going to push the pawn, but apparently that's not so great. Oh yeah, if he pushes the pawn, I have the bishop here forking those two, the bishop, the rook, and the pawn. So pushing doesn't help. So rook d3 is the move here. You don't like to put your rooks into a passive position like that. You know, counterattacking is usually better. But in this case, the counterattack just loses material because I get two pawns and white just gets one. And so now I'm just clearly winning again with that outside pass pawn and the two bishops against a rook. So this is good. And right here, I missed my chance to put the game away. So here's a move I didn't play. So it's black's turn to move how to finish the game. Okay, pause the video if you want to figure this one out. This is kind of a nice tactic, so good one to puzzle over and figure out. I'm going to give the answer away now. It's rook c1 check. And where can the king run to? The back rank is out. Of course, he doesn't want to just give away a rook. This square is covered by the bishop. So his only move is this square. And then rook here is checkmate. The bishop is covering all of these squares. This bishop is covering these squares, so his escape routes are all blocked, and the rook checkmates. So a nice mate in three would have been a good way to finish that game. But I was seeing a mating idea involving the bishop. It's just that this is too slow, and he has time to defend now. So definitely I should have thought a little bit further. I mean, I did notice the rook c1 was check, and that his king would be forced to f2. I just didn't look ahead the next move and see that rook c1 would have, or rook f1 would have finished it. Okay, so game goes on a few more moves. I played bishop g3, like I said, trying to create a back rank mate, and he defends, and we start pushing pawns here. And yeah, the engine did not like this move, rook c1 either, trading off rooks. I guess I was getting low on time or something. But it says, you know, I should just play rook to a2 and then push the a-pawn through and try and win that way with the rooks on. The rooks, as they're lined up, they look powerful there, but they're not actually lined up to deliver a mate at this point. So I have time to pursue my own strategy here. And the bishops are quite powerful and they defend pretty well. Notice they're covering squares on the second rank here as well. They're seventh. So anyway, I forced a trade of rooks, and now it's two bishops against a rook. Still probably a winning advantage, but somehow not quite as convincing. And in fact, right here I blunder, and if he just takes the pawn, it's suddenly an even game. So that's why you want to finish these games off quickly when you have the chance. You don't want to keep playing and give yourself the opportunity to blunder away a win. But he let me get away with that one, and now I'm winning again. And this is a good illustration of the power of the bishops. See how they can come to these diagonals. I probably should have gone to this square with the bishop. So now I can move the bishop here and the bishop here, and just wins. First I check the king away, and now I have to get my king out this diagonal so I can put the bishop here. And when the bishop comes here, it'll be game over. So he takes instead, but this is also game over. He plays on for a little bit. There is one trick. This is the wrong colored bishop. So if we were to get rid of all of these pawns and just leave me with the rook pawn and this bishop, and his king were to get over here in front of it, then that would be a draw. But his king is far from being in front of all those pawns, and I can save the f-pawn anyway. So he resigned at this point after he saw that I defended the f-pawn and I wasn't going for the drawn ending. So anyway, that I thought had some instructive points. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave any comments you have in the section below, and I'll see you again later. Bye.